Hey kids, how's everybody out there in YouTube land this evening, huh? Or this morning. Wow, I am all messed up. Don't even know what time of day it is. I am soaking wet. My shirt's just soaking wet. I tried to make a quick run to the store to pick up some things so I can get some of my jobs taken care of. Some last minute items I'm trying to get checked off the list, and anyhow, I got caught out in the rain. So, hey Douglas, how you doing? Lily, get back. Thank you, darling. Who's a good dog? Hey Douglas, how you doing, man? Anyhow, got pretty soaked. Got caught out in the rain, and the water taxi guy had to come pick me up at the dock, and both he and I got soaking wet. Of course, you know, he had rain gear on, I didn't, but oh well, live and learn. But I did pick up a new addition to the tool bin. So now I can do my own soldering. Doug was going to bring over his soldering gun for me to borrow, but it needed a new tip. So I was going to have to go to the hardware store and buy a tip. I was at the hardware store yesterday and bought a drill bit for another project I'm working on. And I seen this little dude over there. Now this one was $13, but it also includes a hot knife tip. I don't know if you guys can see that. It includes a hot knife tip that threads on there. You pull this screw out, this threads off, and this threads on. And then my soldering iron becomes a hot knife, which is good because sometimes when you're cutting lines on sailboats or working with some materials, it's better to use a hot knife, and I didn't have a hot knife. So I got one now, and of course it came with this little funky stand thing. So I'm hoping to jump on my soldering jobs I have to do today and get my autopilot finished and working. So that's kind of what my plan is today. Lily wants loving. Oh, Douglas, she always does. She always does. Teaming cats and dogs in New Jersey. Yeah, Paul, doing about the same thing here right now. I got caught out in it. They said it wasn't supposed to start raining here till 11 o'clock. Well, they lied. It started raining at about 10 o'clock, so I got over to the hardware store and to the West Marine store, the two stops I had to make today, and I got over there just fine, you know, a few drops, but not, you know, not rain. As I was leaving the West Marine store, heading back over to the boat to get picked up at the water taxi, then it started coming down, and it rained really good there for a while I was getting on the water taxi and then waiting on the water taxi. So, hey John Dolan, hey Mark, what's up, dude? Mark, welcome to Patreon, dude. Thank you very much. Hey John Dolan, hey Waukesha Pilot, good morning. Yeah, Liquid Sunshine. No, Liquid Sunshine, that's tequila and orange juice. That's Liquid Sunshine. Anyhow, so a couple of new... Okay, can you guys see me again? Hello, is anybody there? Can you see me now? I don't know what in the hell happened there. All of a sudden my screen went black like my laptop had shut off. So I don't know. Am I back live again? Can anybody see me, or do I need to restart this? Yes. Okay, yes, you can see me, John Dolan? Alright, so hey Billy Boy. Billy Boy? Who's Billy Boy? It's the big day. No, I'll be heading out of here on Thursday, Scott. I'll be heading out of here on Thursday. I'm waiting for that weather window. So, okay, you guys can hear me. Good deal. Okay, back now. Morning, Carl. Hey, Chief, what's up, man? You were live. Yeah, I was live, and then I was gone. So, Doug fixed his name. Okay. Anyhow, and so I stopped at West Marine while I was out, and I picked up some very necessary supplies. I don't know if you guys have ever used these little sticks for mixing up the stuff to do your fiberglass work, but I really like these sticks, so I picked up a few of them. They're cheap. These things are really cheap. So, but something I wanted to touch base with you guys on, you know, and I got some brushes and some cups for doing some small little epoxy projects that I've got on my list of stuff to do, but I wanted to talk to you about getting screwed, guys, okay? I mean, all of us like to get screwed from now and again, but, you know, sometimes it's expensive to get screwed. Sometimes it's very cheap. It all just depends on where you go to get screwed. So, in this particular case, I needed to pick up some 1 inch number 8 1 inch, 100 of them, Phillips sheet metal screws, stainless steel. So they're here on the boat. Now, I happen to be over at Ace Hardware trying to get screwed, but Ace Hardware wanted to charge me almost $14 for this box of screws. $14. West Marine had this box of screws, $7.99. So it just goes to show you guys, if you want to go get screwed, go to West Marine. Sorry, I'm having way too much fun with that, man. Just having way too much fun with that. So, anyhow, I got screwed this morning at West Marine. And, you know, everybody's going on and on about how expensive West Marine is, and it is. And it is. I just wanted to show you here that I bought some number 6 stainless steel screws at the hardware store yesterday. A box of 100, number 6, 1 inch, number 6 screws, I'm sorry. Yeah, number 6, not number 8. These are bigger than the 6s. Anyhow, they were, I don't know if you guys can see that, they were $10.49 is how much it cost to get screwed at Ace Hardware. But I was able to go to West Marine, and I was able to get screwed for just $7.99. So if you want to get screwed cheaply, I'd say go to West Marine, because they've got the cheapest screws, cheaper than Ace Hardware. So everyone, you know, I always hear everybody complaining about how expensive West Marine is. Well, in this case, it was much cheaper to get screwed at West Marine than it would be to get screwed at Ace Hardware. So, I know, I'm milking that, right? Just milking that. Way too much fun. Anyhow, I'm live. Okay, stainless steel is always crazy expensive, but that's the only way to go on boats and RVs of any type. Yep, Chief, I agree all the time. Can't stay down, work is interfering. Sorry, Jared, buddy, no problem. This is a screwy story. Good morning from Toronto. Hey, Stevie. What's up, Carly? How you doing? Shave yourself. Shave myself. Hell no, man. I'm letting it grow back. What are you doing, dog? She just looks like she's very uncomfortable. What are you doing? What's going on? Whoa, big waves. Somebody just waked me. Say on a rainy, quiet day like this, there's no excuse for people to be zipping around the harbor here. So, but we shall see. A little bit of change in plans. My plan was to leave Thursday. That's not changed. My destination. I was going to go to up to New Haven, Connecticut. I think instead I'm just going to go down to Setauket. Setauket is part of Long Island on the North Shore. It's kind of like the furthest east you can go on Long Island's North Shore and have a nice big safe harbor to get into. So, yes, dog. Oh, look at her. She just wants some loving, huh? You just want some loving? Is that all you want? You just need some snuggling this morning? Okay, get back. Get back. Back. I'm live streaming here. I'm live streaming here. You got your nose in the way. You know that? You got your big nose in the way. Anyhow, kids, I just wanted to say everybody good morning, and that we're alive and well and doing well here. It is pouring rain at the moment, but I'm going to work on a number of projects inside today. I'm going to work on my engine. Now, Doug, my buddy, hold on, let me see if I can grab it. My buddy Doug said that he thought one of the reasons why my engine was sooting up so bad was because my air cleaner may have been fouled and needed to be cleaned. That's all there is to my air cleaner, guys. There's no element, there's no foam, there's no filter. There's nothing. The air comes in this tube, goes into this area, and goes into the engine. There's nothing on here at all. Maybe there was some sort of foam or something at some point, but there's absolutely nothing. You see the hose pipe is empty, this is empty. Looking into the engine compartment, it's empty. There is no air filter on this of any sort whatsoever. So that obviously is not why the engine was sooting up. So the thinking now is that it's probably injectors needed to be cleaned, and or possibly I was overpowering the engine, trying to put too much fuel to it, trying to go too fast. So I probably need to kick the throttle back just a little bit. Can I help you? You're interrupting me while I'm trying to do my live stream, you know. Come on, get back. Go lay down. Go lay down. You're a good dog, but go lay down. Good girl. Anyhow, so that and the injectors could be dirty. Now I'm not. So Doug says, well, just go ahead and pull an injector out and see how, you know, run, and then fire the engine and see how much of what kind of mist it puts out. I'm like, Doug, that is way outside of my comfort level. I am not going to start pulling apart injectors. I have on my Cal 30 I had in Seattle. I did pull the injector pumps and take that to a shop and have it get rebuilt. Very expensive job that was, but it just quit working altogether. In this case, it's working and it's just sooting up a little bit. So I think I'm going to try run some more ejector cleaner through the engine and try backing the throttle down a little bit and just see how well that works with improving my soot situation. So that is west of Orient Point on the North Fork. Yes, yes, Paul, that would be west of Orient Point. If you look at Long Island, Setauket, like about 2/3 of the way out the length of Long Island. But then from Setauket on to Orient Point, it's pretty much just straight coastline. There's one inlet there that you can get in, but other than that, it's just straight coastline. There really isn't any kind of protected harbors anywhere along that length. So, John Dolan, did you get the autopilot working? No, John. That's why I bought this morning. I just bought this morning. I just got back to the boat, unpacked it, haven't even plugged it in yet. But I've got to do a little. I got to do a little soldering. So I just got this to do some soldering. And that's what I'm going to work on today in the rain. So hopefully we'll get the autopilot done today. Use a can of sea foam, cleans injectors very well. Okay, John, I will pick some of that up. How many hours on the motor? From what I understand, when I bought the boat, there was 70 hours on the most recent rebuild. And since then, I motored across Lake Erie. I don't know. I have to check my log. Not a lot. Not a lot. So, I just got back from vacation, Thasos. And while I was swimming one day in the sea, some big waves pulled me away from the shore. If the lifeguard wasn't there, it could have been... Oh, so you got caught up in a riptide. Yep, those riptides can be dangerous. You know, the thing about riptides is you can't just try swimming against the riptide. It'll wear you out. Swim across the riptide. You can swim out of the riptide and then be able to swim back to shore. Got to keep your head about you. Hey, Coyote, what's up, man? Does it have a Raycor filter or just one spin-on? It has a spin-on filter on the fuel filter, Billy. Just a spin-on one. So, anyhow, that's all the news. It is news across the nation, guys. We're going to work on electrical today in the rain, and that's kind of about it. That's about all we can do inside here. I've got a couple electrical jobs. I also, and the reason why I decided to buy the soldering gun, Doug was going to loan me his, but that would be fine, but I have to return it. And I also bought some new lights to put. Oh, where are they? Hold on a minute. I'll show you what I got. Let me get my little electrical bag out. I've got 3 new things to install on the boat. For now. And then there's more coming. So, alright. So the first thing I need to install on the boat is this. This is my white tail light that goes on the back of the boat. This glows white when the LEDs are lit up. And so this is going to mount and replace the light on the stern of my boat. But you see it has wire connections. And I want to get these soldered in on there. And yes, it has a little removable bezel. And this was the reason why I needed to buy stainless steel screws. So, second thing going on. A new bow light. Now, this looks like it's all white, but when you turn it on, it's red and green. So it gives me my red and green light that goes on the bow. Again, this needs to be soldered on, so we've got good contacts, and I needed screws to attach this to the deck. So that's the second item that I need to get installed. Now these aren't time sensitive. They don't need to go in immediately, but I do want to get these installed pretty quickly. And then also, this is what I needed the drill bit for. This is kind of a cool piece of equipment right here. It is for me as a YouTuber. I don't know how practical it would be for a lot of other people, but it plugs into 12 volt. It takes an 1 1/8. Takes an 1 1/8 drill bit to drill a hole the right size for this to go through. Then this just sort of mounts on that. It has a nice little decorative plate, a couple of screws that'll hold it even further. And but when you open this up, it's not a cigarette lighter. It's USBs. So I can plug in my phone, I can plug in my iPad. All of those things will plug directly into this, working off 12 volt power. With this, with its cap, I'm going to set this up out in the cockpit, in my instrument panel, in my control panel, where the ignition is for the boat. So this way, while I'm out on the deck and operating the boat, whether I'm operating the boat and needing to plug in and use my Navionics software, or while I'm doing a live stream, I will have power available all the time while I am out in the cockpit. Right now, there is no power source of any kind out in the cockpit, especially not one that will power my iPads. I mean, I thought about doing like a cigarette lighter kind of thing, you know, and then putting a cigarette type plug in, but this seems like it skips that whole step. This, you know, it just, rather than put in a cigarette socket and then have to plug in another device to power, this just saves one step. So these are some of the other little projects that have been keeping me broke lately, buying all these little components. I mean, you wouldn't believe how expensive these stupid things are. I mean, this was like $48. This was another like $40 at West Marine. I mean, these things are really stupid expensive. And then of course, you know, another $8 to get screws. So, and $6 for a drill bit. It's just it just adds up. It just keeps adding up and adding up and adding up. So, living aboard a boat can be expensive. Even a cheap old boat like mine, and doing the work myself, you just got to be careful with your spending and try to do as much of the work as you can. So, okay, let me see what I missed in the chat. Better a dirty filter. Betting a dirty filter, a dirty fuel filter maybe. I don't think the problem would be the fuel filter, Billy, because the fuel filter would reduce the flow of fuel, whereas what Doug is saying is the way I'm sitting up, my problem is I'm not getting sufficient air. I'm actually getting too much fuel for the air mixture, so the air mixture's off, and that's causing it to not burn fully, and so the fuel is not burning, it's sitting up and coming out. It's not that I'm not getting enough fuel, I'm getting too much fuel for the airflow through there. And so I think he's right. I think the injectors are dirty and needing to be cleaned, but I also think I've been hitting the throttle a little too far forward. I might just try backing the throttle off a little bit, and that should give me a cleaner burn. So, hey Patriot Canadian, how you doing? What happens when a storm comes? You get wet. That's what happens. My Cadillac has 3 USB ports from the factory. Cool. Yeah, well, my 1974 Cal 229, they didn't even know what a USB was in 1974. So 44 years ago, that was not even a consideration. So the boat wasn't designed for anything like that. But it will be now. It's going to be a high-tech boat when I get done. In fact, I've been working on some other stuff. Let me show you something here. I don't know if you guys can see my new panel right there, my new setup. VHF radio, Hummingbird depth finder, which I'm still working on. That pad there is where the iPad gets mounted for my Navionics. You guys are on my iPad right now. And then the control head for my autopilot. All of that gets put up here, goes right across up there in the companionway. And so it gives me an instrument cluster up on deck. But the way it's situated, if it starts getting some bad weather, I can just let the whole thing down here below and out of the weather. So it should work very well for me. Seems strange that there is not some type of removable and replaceable filter within your air intake. Might be worth researching to see if there should be some type of filter. You know, Chief, that's kind of what Doug and I were talking about yesterday. We had a little discussion about that. Maybe there should have been like a foam element or something in there that should have been able to have been cleaned and stuff. But right now we don't see anything. And if there would be a foam element, it wouldn't be much of an element in there. There was just not a place for it. So USB was misspelled word back then. It was, huh? Okay. All right. So anyhow, we just got back from Ace Hardware, West Marine. Got soaking wet this morning. In fact, I'm still wet. I got a wet shirt on. I got to change here, get some dry clothes on, and then get to installing jobs. Working on the autopilot first thing. See if I can get the soldering done. So, in fact, I'm kind of interested to see if this thing even works. I was a little dismayed that the other one that I had didn't work. And as I plug this in, well, I can feel it warming up, but I noticed the generator didn't kick up. Oh yeah, but it's getting hot though. Yep, it's getting hot. Warming up. So there's our first job, getting this warmed up. Look, okay. There. I'm gonna get the cord screwed here so the cord doesn't go anywhere. Screw that cord. There we go. It'll stop that. Yep. Yeah, we're getting some temperature now. All right. Well, kids, I guess that's it. I got to get to my soldering and stuff here, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. You guys be good and be careful. Check in the description down below. You'll find links for my Patreon, should you want to participate with that, and also my PayPal account, should you want to contribute to the cause. We do live streams every night at 7 o'clock, starting next Sunday. The Sunday night live stream, which is the big one each week, is only going to be available through my Patreon page. So if you want to see the Sunday night live stream, you're going to have to join my Patreon account and become a patron. It only costs you maybe $4 a month. It's not going to make or break anybody, but it's there for you should you want to get involved with that. So with that said, what did I miss here in the chat? I guess Turtle Man got bumped. Don't melt any plastic stuff. Oh man, you take all the fun out of life, man. Have a good day later. I just got here. Sorry, William. John Dolan, that was my thought too. Okay, later, Carl. Good day to you, Carl. Okay, guys. Anyhow, guys, be good, be careful, take good care of one another, and we will see you later. Bye.